Hi guys, this video is in direct response to a query made by Rupert where he wanted to see how I put my social media stack system together within Asana in order to make it populate basically a desktop that has a column for each day that collates all the content from all the different sources together into one list to make it easy to do. It's one of the systems that I struggled with in the beginning because I was always struggling about what I should be writing about and not really being effective at repurposing some of the great content that we've done. So I'm doing this in response because I tried to write a post about it and it was going to go on forever as a Facebook post. So a quick video and I'll link it to you, and I hope that Rupert finds this useful. The first thing to say is that I built this in Asana. The second thing to say is apologies, but I am not in my home office, so I've hopped on a friend's computer and I'm using Ice Cream Screen Recorder, which isn't the best resolution. So you might find that this is a little bit blurry and not nearly as good as sharing videos within Zoom, for instance, and doing that there. But Zoom is one of the things that is blocked in the particular office that I'm in, which might give you an idea of which office I'm in. But here we are on my desktop. This is within Asana. These are just my favorites. But if you look down the left hand side, this is where you set up all the teams, and this is where you set up all your projects. Now, I'm a great believer in you set up everything as a project. So every little thing that you've got to set up is set up as an individual process within an individual project, because Asana lets you drop specific projects into other projects, copy across tasks and everything. So I go with the process is create too many projects, rationalize them down, and then collate into your master desktop. So you're just looking at the one desktop every morning to find the right column for the right day in order to get the stuff that I post. So here on the left, I've got some personal stuff, including, look, here we've got the 1% Club. That's all my logins for getting into there. Team Bazan, which is some of the stuff that the top team talk about. The World Memory Sports Council team, which is another board that I sit on. That's to do with setting up memory competitions. And then we're down to the Tony Bazan International stuff. These are the Team Buzan systems. You can see that the team is sitting in here on the top line. These are the completed systems. So these are the systems that are open for every member of the team to be able to go in and pick something out. For instance, when our 8 times world memory champion is looking for a photograph in order to illustrate one of his blog posts, he can go into our photo resources, and this will build all the different events, and we've gathered together all the photographs of all the different events. Each event has a separate tile. All the photographs are then saved within that tile. Lots in this one. So anybody can go and pick the photograph that they need in order to go out on their own personal social media. I trust anybody within our top team to use any of the photographs that are media resources for our business. This happens to be one of our new TBLIs, Mr. Graham, who's actually a Church of Scotland minister. Lovely guy, mentioned during the training that one of his bucket list was to play chess with a grandmaster chess player. We happened to be in the RAC Club in London, which of course is the home of quite a few chess tournaments, and even more importantly, our president of the company happens to be this gentleman here, who is Ray Keane, a grandmaster of chess and actually the chess correspondent for the Times. So yeah, we encourage anybody to go in there and pick out. These are the systems that are open for every single member of the team. Some of the systems that we're building are only open to the team members that are helping to build them. So here we have the Work the System team. You have to get hold of a copy of Work the System. It's one of those books where I would say about 20% of it is absolute gold and the rest is filler. That's just the way that business books seem to be. But once you've got your head around the fact that you need to systematize every part of your business, that's great. We're looking at building the systems out here with various members of the team, including working with Marek, who's in Australia, which is interesting. That's a time zone challenge to build online courses. That scrolling down to the bit that Rupert wants to have a look at, which is my marketing stack system. Now, when I was looking at how do I organise everything, I did play with I'm going to create everything that I need to post on Facebook. I'm going to create everything that I need to on Twitter. But actually my biggest challenge was, one, in creating enough content, because you want to create quality content. Two, repurposing the content. What I wanted to do is I wanted to take something that was in a blog post and use it later in the year in Facebook, use it later in the year in Twitter, put it out onto Instagram, post it on another website, be able to repurpose the content ad infinitum. Of course, as you guys know, we are looking to build this business and then sell this business. So I want to be creating a lot of social media assets and a system that can be sold with the business should it go on. It might not be something that sits in Asana, but I need to have something running just now that a systems bod guy could come in and extract all of the content and move it through. So I decided instead that because we have two websites, we have, if you look down here, tb.com, tonybuzan.com website, and we want 7 days of content for that. We also have a website called Mind Mapping Expert that's in the process of being built out. This is it's the Handover brand website. Tony Buzan is, bless him, getting on a bit. Not quite so able to be around the planet and lecturing all the time, but he's the recognised brand. He is the recognised guru. But at some time we need to do some succession planning. It won't always be him. And so I have started this break-off site, which is Mind Mapping Expert, which Tony is very much the elder statesman, the guru standing behind the lectern. My focus is more on mum doing this, building own training company. So there's a different viewpoint, but it does mean that there's content that can be shared, but there can be a slightly different focus. Much more of my personality comes through in Mind Mapping Expert, then comes through in tonybuzan.com because it's the international brand, the international website. So we decided what we would do as a starting point is that we would create a stream of content for each of the days of the website that we could then repurpose, if that makes sense. So we would look to post something first on Tony's site, and at that point we would then be able to repurpose that content, take it out to Twitter, out to Facebook, not necessarily on the same day, but trickling out over the months and the years to come. I do hope that makes sense. So let me open one here. What shall we have? We shall have Thursday, tonybuzan.com. We're looking at memory videos here. So I have a column set up for each month and a tile set up for how many Thursdays there are in each month, rolling out and out and out. You can see we're in the process of uploading all the photographs to this today, the videos for this today. But it says that on the 4th of April 2019, we had a video that says, do you think that memory systems should be introduced to students and at what age? It's also telling me that this is an interview between Tony and Elaine. So if I look at this tile, I've got the link to YouTube. I've set this up so that it recurs every month in my monthly marketing schedule. On the 4th of every month from here on in for quite a long time, it's going to pop up as a tile that says, we've got a video that was first put out on the 4th of April. It's about memory. It asks this question and it's got Tony and Elaine in it. I've stashed it in our video resources so that anybody else can grab this video as soon as it's published. And down here, I've got a list. The first task is post as a blog post on www.tonybuzan.com. Of course, if you click on here, that takes you to the system of how you do that. In a month's time, on the 4th of May, it will pop up. I want you to post this as a Facebook post on the Tony Buzan Facebook page. Click on here, obviously it tells you how. A month later, use it as an Instagram post on Mind Mapping Expert before it's passed over to mindmappingexpert.com as a blog post, put out by Twitter on my personal account, posted on LinkedIn. So these are all the different ways that we will repurpose this one piece of content that's published on the blog post in very many ways, rolling out until, where do we go out to? Probably, what's that, about 20 months time. We can then put additional dates. So this will pop up every month for about 20 months, and it will prompt me the next place that I need to post this social media asset. When I post, say I post a Facebook page, onto a Facebook page, the comment, because obviously, you know, in different social media, you have different house styles. Twitter has to be very short, it has to use hashtags, you've got to tag people. With Facebook, you can be a little bit more long and rambly, although shouldn't be too long. If it goes beyond the break, that's not ideal. If it is, it's got to be compelling. But regardless, what I would do is I put in here Facebook, the date, and I would copy across the comment, meaning that anytime I can look through the social media tile and I can see exactly what I've said about this own particular piece of social media asset across the different platforms. Makes it very easy then to just cut and paste and replicate in future if I also need it as well. So I'm building up a repository not only of the social media asset, in this case it happens to be a video, but the fact that I can use this over the next 20 months, and this is the order in which I'm going to use it. I'm going to post it as a Facebook blog post, then as on the Facebook, Instagram, as another blog post, etc., all the way through. So that was a way for me to organise it just by looking at every day we want to post something on both of these websites. That means I need to create 52 pieces of social media content for each of the websites for each of the day. And by choosing a theme for each day, I was able to create a mind map that then explored all the content and any appropriate dates that were happening. You know, you would definitely want to make sure that you've got a speed reading or a memory video happening that's appropriate to, well, on the 6th of June, we're running a national memory competition. So I want to make sure that I've got an empty tile there for doing a video interview with Dominic, inviting people to come along. So you're going to make things appropriate to whatever is also in your calendar. So this takes every single tile, every single social media asset from here, and it's going to move it down into what I call my marketing team processes. And this is where we've got a desktop for every month rolling out. It rolls out to December 2021, where it takes that social media asset and it replicates it on, in this case, the 4th of every month. It's going to pop up in each one of these, and I'm going to be able to post it to a different social media channel. I'm pretty willing to bet that by the time I get to December 2021, there will be social media channels that we've not even dreamt of yet that will be up and rising and stellar, and well, Gary V will be hyping it as the next best thing and the place that you have to get into. So this goes out to February 2021. I'm going to scroll back. Let me pick one of these. Let's go for February 2020. We're going to be looking for the 4th day. This takes a little while to build because obviously it's pulling lots and lots and lots of social media asset tiles in from lots of different places. As you see, it begins to populate. I'm going to scroll over. I might have chosen one that had the column on the first screen. Let's see how long this takes to build. Sorry, not on my computer today, so taking a little bit longer than normal. Here we go. Scrolling along to the 4th. In fact, there is video on the 4th of April, video that was first published on the 4th of April 2019. It's about memory. Do you think that memory systems should be introduced to students and what age? It's a video by Tony and Elaine. And if I tick in here, you will see exactly the same tile has been copied over into February 2020, and that I just work my way down the list, posting it in the next social media system or social media channel that we're looking to use. So this was set up as a way for me to really maximize the repurposing of good quality content that we make. We don't want to make these little short videos, and these are quite little short videos, and they're just Zoom interviews. But we don't want to make it and just use it once. We want to make sure that if we make a video, we're posting it to a blog post, we're posting it out to Facebook, we're posting it out to Twitter, we're uploading it to Instagram, we're making sure we get to all of our market on all of these different channels in a systematic way. And the way for me to do that was just to set up the monthly recurring. because these are, at the moment, the evergreen social media assets. These are not part of specific marketing campaigns. That's the bit that we're working on in April, which is this month, which is the 90-day marketing systems, where we teach each of the events that we're running this year, and we set the event up to, let me take one that's rolled out quite far, December the 6th to the 8th, 2019, we have the World Memory Championships. That's going to be in Wuhan in China. The challenge with running an event in China is they're quite happy to do all their social media marketing in China, but it doesn't come across the Great Firewall of China. So we need to do the social media marketing kind of for the rest of the world. It's telling me that the first day that we start the aggressive marketing campaign, not the awareness that this is happening, but the aggressive marketing campaign, the countdown to the event, if you like, is on the 7th of September 2019. And in here, I will start to create the plan for, I want to put this out on Facebook, I want to put this out on Twitter, I want to do a countdown tile, everything that I need to do that takes you all the way through to the 5th, which is the opening ceremony for the World Memory Competition in Wuhan in China. So each of our events has got a 90-day countdown, a 90-day marketing system behind it. And pretty much those systems are pretty similar. We start off on Facebook, which is where the majority of our followers are. We go quickly out onto Twitter, but we build it up so it's systematic, so that all of the social media assets, all of the pictures, all of the quote tiles, all of the videos, all of the Facebook Lives, which is something new that we're going to do now that I've had some help setting that up, all of the podcasts, everything that needs to happen around that marketing campaign is kind of set up in a system before we get to the 7th of September 2019. This is now a task for us. These tasks are things that we are actively working on now over this next month to create the stuff that we need in order to market all the events. And like up here, like all of these pots of content shuffled down into the monthly and then daily marketing streams, the columns for each day, so too will the 90-day marketing strategy plans be dumped into the daily and monthly plans part of this system here, so that any point I know that what I'm doing is I am going to first thing every morning I just open up the monthly marketing plan, and I'm then scrolling around to find, this was the first, this is the second, this is the third. I scroll my way along to get to the right day, and then I start working my way down the list, posting each of these assets in the appropriate place. I hope that kind of makes sense for you, Rupert. The easiest way for me to explain it is, the first thing I did was create lots of content in lots of individual baskets. I then pulled the content from each of those individual baskets across into my monthly and daily marketing plan in a systematic way. And in my case, because this is evergreen marketing that I was doing, that was every 30 days. We wanted to repurpose every piece of content every 30 days. Because people on social media don't have a huge memory, even if they've been on our memory courses. But more importantly, when you're posting across different social media channels, nobody really recognises that that's the same quote that you used a month ago on Facebook, or 2 months ago on the website, or 3 months ago as part of a blog post, or a podcast or whatever. So just using the forgetting curve, something that we teach in part of our training, how quickly people forget, a month is about appropriate for us for the speed at which our social media works. So I hope that makes sense, that we build buckets, we then pull individual tiles from those buckets, and we schedule them within our monthly and annual marketing. Want to make it as easy as possible, that literally you open up the monthly tile, you go to the daily tile, you start at the top, and you schedule and you post all of the social media. It has taken my social media posting activity down from an hour or 2 or even 3 on days where I can't think what the heck have I got to write, down to I timed it this morning, it was about 25 minutes start to finish. I posted 17 pieces of social media for the day out in the time it took me to drink a cup of coffee. So that certainly is a big time saving for me. More importantly, I'm beginning to build up, because I'm responsible for creating the content, I'm beginning to build up a system. This system could be handed on to somebody else to actually go and post for us these tiles on social media at the appropriate time, on the appropriate channel. Day by day by day, week by week by week. It could be something that we could very quickly hand on to somebody else. And certainly I'm thinking about a certain VA in the Philippines, because her English is excellent, that this might be a whole huge chunk of work that just disappears off my desk very quickly, leaving me a space in my day where I can go and work for business development. So I know this is a bit of a marathon, Rupert. I hope this really, really worked for you, and I hope you now understand exactly what it is that I did and why I was so excited that we eventually got it to work, because it's utterly sustainable for us and is saving us lots and lots of time each and every week. Any questions? Ask the specific questions below. Promise you I'll come back and I'll answer them. But I did feel that the quickest way to get this over to you was basically a show and tell. Pop online, do a quick video, and leave the video here for you to see. So thanks for the question. I hope it made sense. Now I'm getting beckoned. I need to go and attend a planning meeting over here in Edinburgh. So I'll catch you guys later. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Talk to you later. Bye.